Well, as we wish a happy Veterans Day and say thank you to all who have served, we have a half-hour special that we hope you'll watch tonight at 7 o'clock because once again, 7 News tagged along with the Buffalo Niagara Honor Flight, which takes local veterans to our nation's capital to visit the monuments and memorials dedicated to their service. The most recent was an all-female mission. We know these trips are life-changing, and that was most certainly the case a year ago when I went on the honor flight and met a man named Joe, a Vietnam veteran who let me go with him so he could find the name of his friend and commanding officer on the Vietnam Wall.
There was dozens of people around. I wasn't worried about breaking down or being embarrassed. It just hits you. I had my finger one row over it. You said, he's right under your finger. I couldn't see it. I wasn't thinking too clearly there because emotion was driving the train. It was closure.
Closure after more than 50 years. Lieutenant Colonel O'Day was killed in action on December 25th, 1968. And Joe Ruszala joins me live here in studio tonight to talk about that trip and how it led to his brand new book called The Disappearing Man. Joe, thanks so much for coming in. Happy Veterans Day to you.
Thank you. Good to see you, Michael.
So I want to start here by playing one more clip from the special that we did exactly a year ago, and that moment when we went to the Vietnam Wall and you were able to find your friend's name there and how that changed you, but also how you talked about discussing this helped you and could help others. I want to play that.
Please tell our story. And we talked about this. I'm sorry, it's easy to tell a story when you have a story to tell. We have a story.
We have a story. Well, you most certainly do, and you decided all these years later to put that story in a book. Tell me about The Disappearing Man.
The Disappearing Man is me, and it's you, and it's all of us. Because with every moment that passes by, every week, every month, we all disappear in the memory. And for me, after going to the wall, it was so liberating. I found myself embracing things I used to run from. So The Disappearing Man was legacy. How am I going to be remembered? And as I had that conversation with other veterans, we kind of started a conversation. So what I did was, after honor flight, which just set me free, I was able to go back and touch the memories of my experiences. I didn't come home all the way from Vietnam. And from the time I came back to quite recently, people have been always asking me, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? We're asking the wrong question. The question is, what happened to you? That's what happened to me. So 1968 was a defining moment for me that set me up to where I am today. I'm 78 years old. So I wanted to tell a story, and I wrote that on a yellow pad with a fountain pen. And you were actually an inspiration to this because I remember on the plane coming back, you weren't a TV guy at first, you were a writer. So you were talking about your experiences in writing, and that kind of resonated with me. So I thought, I'm going to pick up a pen and I'm going to start telling my story. So I did. So I went to the Christmas Day, Colonel O'Day, and I wrote about that. And then I said, well, what happened after that and after that? And when I went home, then it was important to frame what was going on in the country in 1964 and 1965, and it was turning itself inside out. So as a 17-year-old in 1965, I was a senior in high school, what was going through my mind watching the TV, Walter Cronkite every night,
right,
and seeing those images on TV and thinking, it's going to happen to me. And it did. So fast forward, here I am today, and I'm trying to figure it all out. And last October was the day I came home from Vietnam. It really was.
The day that we were there at the wall. And I so appreciate you letting us share that story. And I heard from so many people, so many veterans, after we shared your story, who talked about how much it helped them. How much of a factor was that in you writing this book, in being able to help others?
Everything. It was. If I told my story, other guys that I've talked to are sitting on their story, and they're reluctant or apprehensive on telling it. And I think now it's time. Tell your story. Do not suffer in silence. We had an event today in Grand Island, and a Vietnam veteran came in, and he bought one of the books on Saturday. He says, I was afraid to read it. And he said, why? And he said, because it's going to kick up some old memories. And I said, yeah, it will. Okay.
And that's the point.
That's the point. That's the point. And in order to heal, you need to go there. And then all of a sudden, the sun comes out, the unicorns run across the street, and you rediscover your life.
Yeah.
Now, I remember in the park there, I got more time behind me than I have ahead of me, so whatever I got left, I'm going to make it count. So we did. And then when this thing came together,
there was two stories here, as always. So there's a story within a story, and the second story here is the book itself and how it came about and why it looks the way it does. So there's this little print shop on Grand Island called Island Ship Center, and they were wonderful. So my adult supervision over here, Courtney, we were spitballing some ideas, and she said, wouldn't it be cool if you had your map could be the jacket cover? Well, I want to show you this. This is a map I had carried with me every day for 8 months.
Wow, from your time in Vietnam?
Yes, and this is before GPS, before computers, before cell phones.
Yeah.
So it's paper. So my story in that book is along these points.
Turned it. Joe, I could talk to you about this forever. I'm running out of time.
No worries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This trip, I know, was so meaningful for you. It led to you returning from Vietnam to writing this book. It's called The Disappearing Man. Make sure you tune in tonight at 7 o'clock right here on 7 News for the latest Honor Flight. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you,
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
Stay with us, everybody. 7 News at 6 is next.